Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So before we go back to editing there's a problem I had on my profile some time back, so I want to fix that problem. Someone pointed that out in the comments because this day I couldn't see the error. I think I was a bit tired. But the error is, no matter what error we get here, we just get on the first name. So if I add some numbers here on the profile and try to save this, it's going to tell me some errors, and they need to say last name can only be, so that last name should show here and not there. So let's fix that real quick. So if we go to our project and we go to the views admin profile view, so the error is not with the HTML, as I was checking that day, because we have these things named correctly. The problem is down here on the key, when the thing is looping to display errors, and for some reason I just told it to look for the first name thingy here and nothing more. So what we should do is add the key over here. We were actually doing a console.log of the right thing, so I just need to copy this and paste it there. I don't know why it never occurred to me to put that here, but this should solve the problem. So let's see if that does indeed solve the problem. So let's save that, and there we go. Oh, I have to refresh for the JavaScript to update. So let's put the number there and save. Let's see. Okay, so we get it on the right place. Let's try a number that is invalid. Let's save that, and you see phone number not valid. Okay, so that sorts one problem out. Let's go back to our courses, and here let's click on edit, and I just want to course landing page. That's the one right there. Very cool. Okay, so what we want to do is upload the video as well. Now the same way oh wait a minute, before we upload the video, let's fix that error we had seen, because we will need that as well, the same code for the video. So the problem that's here is that if I upload a different image, so let me try and show it again. If I try and upload Ed Sheeran, for example, here, we shouldn't even see this at all. So I've uploaded Ed here, but I decide I don't want to save Ed. So I go to a different page. Okay, change, continue. So when I go to that page and come back to here, you see there's Shakira here, but if for some reason I decide to edit something and I don't update the image, but then I click save like this, we're going to have a problem, because the image will now be replaced if I refresh, as you can see here. So that is not good at all. So what we're supposed to do here is to make sure that this form that we have here, when we uploaded the image, is the same form that when we click save, if it's the same form, then we have to save that image. If it's a different form, then we just ignore that image. Because, for example, imagine if I load this form right now and then I go to another page, it means it's no longer the same form. When I get back here, it should be a different one. So in order for us to know if it's the same form, we need a unique ID per form. Now this is actually going to help us solve two problems. When we identify the form, we're going to get rid of what is known as cross-site forgery request. So I explain what this is in my securities videos, but I'll explain a little bit what that is. The thing is, as you can see in here, we are creating, this is in the courses. Let's go to that courses view. Yeah, it is the courses view. If we go down here, you'll notice that we are creating a form of our own when we try to, let's say, upload an image. as you can see here. Where is this? Yes, var my form is equal to new form data. So it's possible to create a form like this. Now, what I can do with these powers is that if, for example, I go to I can trick somebody into clicking an image. Let's say I send them an email that has an image with a very specifically crafted link. Now that link in the email, maybe I tell them, look at this image, and then when they click on that image, instead of it'll look like a broken link image, but instead it will send to something else. Let's say, for example, normally we add, let's do this. We add an image tag like this, and then we say source is equal to, and then we'll obviously put the link to an image. So it might be image.jpg. Okay, so like this, the image will show. Now, if we send, let's say, an email, for example, and instead of putting an image link here, we put a link to, let's say, somebody's admin page. So let's say, for example, here, you see this is the admin section, and then even profile. Let's go to the profile, for example. And then I'm going to click on the edit section here. So for example, what can happen is I can grab this link of my own. I know, because if I'm the logged in user and I went to this link, it will take me to my own profile on this website, right? So a hacker can copy this link right here. As long as it's not the hacker that opens it, but it's you that opens that link, it's going to lead you to this, your profile page. And then what the hacker can do instead of showing you an actual link image, they can put a link to your website. So say your website.com/profile like this. Okay, instead of putting an image link there, they're going to put a link to your profile. And then what happens is you don't even have to click on the image. The moment you try to load the image, because the default behavior of a browser is to try and find this image. So it's going to visit this link, whether you like it or not. It will visit this link to try and find the image. But then it will turn out that the image cannot be found, because this is not really a link to an image, it's a link to a profile. And then from there, it can submit a form using JavaScript, which will change your password and username without your consent. But because you're the user that's logged into your browser right now, it will use your session cookie to verify that it's actually you. The website will think it's you that's trying to change all these things. But then it's just a script that's using your browser, which is already logged in into your software, and then change things. So to prevent this, what we will do is each form should have a unique ID, and then we get the same unique ID and put it in our session. So whenever a form is submitted, the session should check, first of all, does the ID that's in the session match the ID that has been submitted by this form? If it doesn't match, then you know that this form was not submitted from the same browser that the user is logged on into, but it was from another location. So this kind of hacking is called cross-browser. It's like this. Wait, what is it called? It's called cross-site, not browser. Cross-site request forgery, like this. So we abbreviate it with CSRF, like this. That's what we call it. So anyway, to cut the long story short, we can do both by creating a CRF code. So what I want us to do is go to this form right here in courses view. Now the form is inside courses edit tabs right here, and if I click on that, we're going to create a function that will create this. So inside the form, like this right here, let's put an input right there. Now, instead of putting an input in here, what we will do instead is we'll just run a function. So PHP, we'll call it CSRF like that, and then close that. Now, the advantage of doing this is because since we'll be putting this on every form, it's going to make it easy in case we change how we create the code. It will change on all forms. We don't have to go and repeat, because if we tell it to echo a specific value here, then we'll have to go in and change that. So what we'll do is let's go to our functions here, core functions, and let's create that function, that particular function. So say function CSRF like that. And what this thing should do is echo an input. Oopsie daisy. Okay. So let's echo an input field. This is not how you write an input. Of type is equal to hidden, like this. Oopsie daisy. Hidden. And then value is where we're going to add our value here, and then that's really it. So it's going to echo this input that has a special character, a special code. So we'll say code is equal to, now if we use time like this, time is going to return an integer of the number of seconds since 1970 up to now. So this value changes every second, so it's reliable. We know that every time we run this function, we're going to get a unique, is it 14 digit, 12 digits? I don't know, 12 digit integer that's always unique, because no time ever repeats. But if you want it more secure, you can actually, what's the word? You can encrypt it. So you can use MD5 to encrypt it like so. It doesn't have to be security proof encryption. It's just to encrypt the time at that moment. That's it. So then with that code, all we have to do is put it in here and we are good. So let's see what will happen with that once we click on the form itself. So course landing page, let's inspect the element here. Okay, so let's go into this form and see what we have. So we have this hidden input, and you can see it's got a special string in there, which is unique. But I want to know how long this string is. So what I'll do is, instead of echoing this, I'm going to say echo string length, like that, of that whole process. Okay, so that it can just tell me how long it is. Refresh, and let's go back to the form. And as you can see, it says 32 characters. So we know that that code will always be 32 characters no matter what. So let's undo that part only and save. Now, this code we get, we have to save it in the session as well. So once we get the code, we're going to do session, and then we say CSRF code, like that, is equal to, and then we set it to that code. Okay, great. Now we have set it to the session and put it in the input. This will repeat every time, so we can just do a comparison. Okay, very nice. So now that we have that, we just need to create a 32 int or 32 character. Let's go to the Udemy, let's go into courses. Yes, and let's go to structure. So structure here, let's get, let's add one more column, and we're going to call it CSRF code, like that. And it's an variable character with 32 characters long, and let's save that. Okay, good. Now that we have that, we need to add it to our model. So make sure you always add these things to your model. Where is the model? As it calls model. There we go. And let's duplicate and add that there. Great. Things are looking great. Don't leave any spaces here. Okay, so that we can be able to update that. So at this point, I wanted to update when I submit. So let's go to the admin section here. So what I want is when we submit, where is this? What am I looking for? So action is equal to add, right? So if this is true, what else do I want? I want somewhere where there's we are checking for errors. Are we checking for errors here? Apparently not. Okay. So on the add, let's deal with the edit first of all. Then we can scroll down to the add section. So data errors. Is this one empty at all? Let's see here. Okay, so right at the top here, let's do it from here. We'll say check if form is valid. All right. Now you can also use the same code to check if a form has expired or just stayed too long, and invalidate it that way. So I'm just going to say, oh, wait a minute. Let's come back to functions. We need a name for this thing, otherwise it won't submit. So back here, name is CSRF. What am I typing? CSRF code, like that. Okay. I should use single quotes, of course. Like that, great. And so when we get to this point and click save, wait, admin. So we'll say if post, where is that? So we're in the post. So we should only check for when something is posted, actually. Sorry, my bad. Let's do it here. Check if form is valid. Let's move a step back. Okay. So at this point, all these things are unnecessary if the form is not valid. So from here to there to here, else if to here. Okay. So we're going to say if. Actually, I can just wrap this whole thing in an if statement. So come down here and say if, let's go to functions. I want to grab this. Okay, back to admin. If that is equal to whatever was posted, CSRF code, if they are equal, then we continue. Otherwise, we do not. So I'll cut this closing part so I can push it over up to the die part here, and I should put the closing tag over here. Then I can put an else statement. So this else statement will return some JSON. Let's say echo JSON info, right? So let me just grab this up to there. I'm going to put it here, and I don't need this closing tag. Let's do that. Okay, so errors are here, and I'm just going to add course errors. No. This one should be errors. What do I do here? This is course. I need to send an error here. Please fix the following errors. Actually, let me just put an empty array here. Or I could call it key. I just want the array thing to have something. let's say value. It doesn't really need to make sense. I just want an array that's not empty so that on the other side we know there's some errors. And then the data is going to be, instead of please fix the errors and say this form has expired. Okay, well, this form is not valid. Okay, type save. Was it on save? We're just going to use data type at this point. Whatever the data type is, we don't have to make it, yeah, something like that. And then let's send that back, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to intentionally make sure that these guys do not match so that we get an error. So with this one, I'm just going to concatenate something at the end to make it not match at all. So I'll put 45 or any random character, just so the code that goes here and here are different. So let's see that result. So let me close this and let's refresh. Okay, array key, undefined array key on line 89. Let's see that. What's going on? Admin line 89. What's happening? What's happening? Line 89. Okay, we haven't even posted anything yet. Oh, we did post something. We don't want to look at this on the read. It has to be on the save. So copy that. Okay, so this creates a little bit of a problem. So since this can only work on the save, let me just cut this out and let's go to put it here in the save. In the save section, check if form is valid. And then this goes down there and then it closed there. So yep, so I have to remove this, unfortunately. Cut this out. Hope we don't get lost here. So I've added another if statement here, and I'm coming down here to add an else statement here. So right there, put an else statement, boom, like this. Okay, and then move everything else inward like so. Okay, that way we check if the form is valid and then we do that, but in the end we still need to echo that, so there's no need to repeat ourselves. I'll remove that. Okay, at least that only happens when we are saving. So let's refresh, hopefully no errors. And then let's try to save this time. So I'm just going to edit something and then try to save and say this form is not valid. Okay, so it won't save. But now if the form is valid, let's come back here to make sure they're the same. Let me just remove that, save, and refresh. Okay, let's try to save. Save, and everything was saved successfully. Okay, good. Now we're going to use that same CRS, ooh, that's quite a long name. We're going to use that same code to fix our issue, because now we can ID a form uniquely, and I can show you that. If you inspect the element here, console, let's go to the form. Wait, inspect. Okay, we're going to the form. You see this code here starts with 424. Now if I go to a different page and inspect, where is this form? Oh, we don't have one there actually. Okay, anyway, they will be unique on each form, so that's the point. All right, I'll see you in the next video.